Right, so get ready because today we are diving into some seriously dense lyrical territory.
Yeah.
Canibus's Sea of Tranquility.
Definitely dense.
This one's a brain workout. I'm not gonna lie.
It really is. It's a fantastic choice for a deep dive, though.
Yeah.
Canibus is known for his intricate wordplay, but Sea of Tranquility, it's like he took it to a whole other level.
Absolutely.
We're talking complex metaphors, spiritual allusions, a little dash of conspiracy theory just for fun.
He threw it all in the lyrical blender.
Yeah.
Hit the button and was like, all right, decipher this. So where do we even begin with a track this dense?
Well, the heart of Sea of Tranquility really lies in this question that Canibus keeps asking throughout the song, what will it really be? Like he's prompting us to really grapple with what Sea of Tranquility actually is. Is it a state of mind, a utopia, or a revolution within hip-hop itself? He doesn't really give us a straight answer.
Right.
Which is what makes it so interesting to unpack.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
like he's inviting us into this dialogue with him. Right. We have to kind of wrestle with these questions alongside him as we listen.
Yeah.
And it's not just music to bob your head to. This is an intellectual and philosophical exercise set over a beat.
100%.
And as we get further into the lyrics, you see these glimpses of Canibus's own journey as an artist.
Yeah.
And how his relationship with hip-hop has evolved.
Absolutely. There's that one line where he kind of draws this distinction between his earlier work, which he calls like addressing the truth,
Okay.
and then his current style he calls more confessing in the booth.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's subtle, but it speaks volumes about his growth as an artist. You know,
Yeah.
He's not just spitting facts anymore. He's digging into deeper personal truths.
Yeah.
And using these really, really vivid metaphors to kind of share them.
So let's talk about those metaphors because they are potent.
There's something else.
Like he does not hold back. One that stuck out to me. Rhymes resemble knots being tied. Timeline becomes a non-linear noose that will snap your mind.
Yeah.
It's poetic, but also terrifying at the same time. What's your take on that?
I think that line really just encapsulates Canibus's whole style. It's about the power of language, the way that it can warp our perception of time and reality itself.
Yeah.
Like he's acknowledging that words can both enlighten and ensnare,
Right.
build up and destroy
Absolutely.
at the same time.
It's like he's saying these rhymes aren't just entertainment, it's forces that can reshape your worldview,
100%.
for better or for worse.
And he really drives that point home with even more jarring imagery.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the song, we've got the kangaroo execution court.
Yeah, what is that?
I know, right? Super jarring. It really makes you think about justice and brutality.
Right.
Is it a commentary on like flaws in the justice system? A metaphor for how the music industry treats artists? It's up for interpretation.
I like that.
And then there's the line about the radio frequency identification pin under the skin.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so relevant today.
Absolutely.
You know, with all this digital stuff going on, it's like he anticipated this future where surveillance is everywhere.
It's a little creepy how prescient some of these lyrics are.
Very much so.
But then he throws this curveball at us with the image of the mystic in a room with crystal walls reciting lyrical law.
Yeah,
It's such a stark contrast to the other imagery we've been talking about.
totally.
It's like he's presenting these two divergent paths.
Right.
One mired in darkness and control, and then one leading to some kind of enlightenment.
It's like that duality that he sees within hip hop itself.
Okay.
You know, on one hand, it's this raw, powerful tool for commonary and maybe even revolution, but then it can also devolve into something really shallow and materialistic.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's grappling with hip hop's potential to both elevate and corrupt.
Do you think the Sea of Tranquility represents that ideal form of hip hop?
It's very possible.
Transcending the negativity and connecting us to something greater?
Right, and it's further emphasized with his use of all the spiritual elements in the song.
Right.
The chakras, the tree of life, Kabbalah.
He even mentions a confrontation with Vril.
Yeah, the vril.
For anyone who doesn't know, those are the reptilian beings from conspiracy theories.
Yeah, for those who don't know.
It's like he pulled from all these sources, ancient wisdom, fringe beliefs, even pop
He
culture,
threw it all in there.
and wove them together in this sonic tapestry.
Yeah, it makes Sea of Tranquility such a rich text.
Right.
It's not just a song. It's this really dense exploration of knowledge, spirituality, the essence of language.
Okay.
to really grasp it, we need to talk about Zakaria Sitchin.
Okay.
So for listeners who might not know who that is, Canibus name drops him in the song. He's this controversial author. He's known for his interpretations of ancient Sumerian texts.
Okay.
He basically believed that these texts had proof of aliens visiting Earth
Wow.
and influencing human civilization.
Okay, so Canibus calling himself a supreme dream catcher takes on a whole new meaning.
Totally, it does.
He's not just an MC.
Yeah.
He's like a conduit, right?
Yeah.
Channeling these ancient, possibly even extraterrestrial truths through his lyrics.
It's a powerful image, right?
It is.
And it speaks to his pursuit of knowledge and this belief that language holds the key to unlocking deeper truths about ourselves and the universe.
So he's not just rapping, he's deciphering a cosmic code.
Exactly.
Hidden within language.
100%.
And he's inviting us along for that ride.
That's it. That's Canibus in a nutshell.
He's not giving us the answers, but he's giving us the pieces.
Right.
And he's saying, like, go assemble it yourself.
And that's where the magic happens, right?
Yeah.
It's that engagement with the ideas.
Yes.
That's where it's at.
That active listening and trying to decipher and decode and put it all together.
Exactly.
It's true. It really is like this intellectual and spiritual playground he's created.
Yeah.
Right? Where these ideas, they shouldn't go together, but he brings them together.
Exactly. And you make these weird connections. It's all about engaging with it and seeing what clicks for you.
Yes. It's like he's giving us the keys to his brain and saying, go wild. But even with all the, like, heady concepts and esoteric knowledge, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No.
There is some dark imagery in here, like the line about exhuming a body for post-mortem autopsy inspection.
Oh, yeah.
And then that detail about the RFID chip grinning. It's chilling.
It's creepy, right?
Yeah.
Like that primal fear about technology and how it could control us even after death.
Yes.
And it all ties into that surveillance theme that runs through the whole song.
Absolutely.
Those radio frequency identification pins under the skin, I mean, today with facial recognition and data mining, it's like he saw this coming.
Yeah, it's freaky how, like, ahead of his time he was.
Definitely.
But he doesn't let the dark stuff totally consume the song.
Right.
There are these moments of, like, transcendent beauty, like how he describes the mystic reciting lyrical law.
Right.
Or that feeling of warmth spreading as he connects to something bigger than himself.
Yeah, I love that.
What do you make of that juxtaposition?
It's like he's reminding us that even when things are dark, there's still that potential for something better. It's about finding that balance.
So it's not just about confronting the darkness, but actively seeking out the light.
Exactly. It's about engaging in that struggle to find meaning.
Yeah. And speaking of uncomfortable truths, can we talk about that ending?
Oh, man.
It takes such a hard left turn into, I don't even know what to call it.
It's like a fever dream. Just hits you out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like this surreal wedding scene, and then it morphs into something else entirely.
I know.
Severed hands, punishment, and then he drops that line, Baphomet's unintelligible intelligence is benevolent.
This is so
Break that
great.
down for me.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack. He starts by mentioning the tree of life, which is a big deal in Kabbalah.
Right.
Represents interconnectedness, spiritual growth, all that.
Okay,
But then she throws in the severed hand and the talk of punishment.
right. Like, there's a price to pay for knowledge.
It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
And for anyone listening who might not know, Baphomet is usually depicted as this goat-headed figure.
Yeah, a pretty common symbol in occult circles.
Exactly. So when he says its intelligence is benevolent,
It's like he's challenging the traditional ideas of good and evil.
right? What if the things we fear aren't so black and white?
It's like he's flipping the script on it.
Totally. And then just when you think you're starting to understand, he throws in those lines about invisible people speaking.
And that feeling of being pulled into something ancient.
Yeah. Like there are forces at play that we can't even comprehend.
Like we're just along for the ride.
100%.
Yeah.
And even when we think we're in control, we're just part of something much bigger.
Right. And then that final image of the black hole in the making, nothing but a wound gaping.
Powerful imagery.
It's such a heavy way to end the song.
It really is. It sticks with you.
It makes you think about, like, the darkness, the search for meaning.
That existential dread.
Yeah. How does he manage to make something so dark and heavy also feel hopeful?
It's a trip, right?
Yeah, it is. He's acknowledging just how vast and chaotic everything is. But we're not totally powerless.
We still have choices.
We can still find our own meaning, even when faced with that oblivion.
And that search for meaning, it's not always pretty.
No?
It's messy, it's painful sometimes. It's a constant struggle.
Definitely.
But that struggle, that's how we carve out our own little piece of tranquility.
It's like when he says, I used to be a blind pianist. He compares his flow to magnets.
Oh, yeah.
That always stuck with me. That image of this raw talent, almost like a supernatural connection to language itself.
It's beyond just rhyming.
Right. He's creating these like tapestries of sound and meaning.
And he knows not everyone is going to get it.
Right.
He even talks about that, like the left brain habits and how the masses are savage roaming the streets with torn fabrics.
It's like he's saying, this isn't for everyone.
Yeah, this is for the people who are willing to dig deeper.
The seekers.
Exactly.
He's not trying to dumb it down to appeal to the masses. He's speaking directly to those who are ready to, as he puts it, harness the ether.
To talk to their leaders.
Yes. To dive headfirst into this lyrical labyrinth.
It's a challenge for sure.
It is, but it's so rewarding.
100%.
Because he's not just giving you music, he's giving you an experience.
It's true.
It's a journey into language, into consciousness, into what it even means to be human.
You really have to be an active listener.
Yes. You can't just have this on in the background.
You got to be present.
You have to be. So if you're up for the challenge, I urge you to dive into Canibus's Sea of Tranquility. You might be surprised by what you find.
It's a wild ride, but it's worth it.
It really is. And that about wraps up our deep dive into Sea of Tranquility. It's been, well, enlightening, to say the least.
Absolutely. It's amazing what you can uncover when you really start picking apart the lyrics.
Right. Like, there's a reason we chose this track. It's more than just a song. It's an experience.
Definitely. It's a conversation starter, a challenge, a work of art even.
And remember, we barely scratched the surface here.
Oh yeah, there's so much more to uncover.
If this deep dive intrigued you at all, go listen to the track again.
Multiple times.
Yes. Pay attention to the lyrics and see what resonates with you.
And let us know what you think. We love hearing from you.
We do. Hit us up on social media. Let's keep this conversation going.
Absolutely. And until next time, keep diving deep.